What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys tuning in for another video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You know, we're pumping out 3 videos a week right now, and we don't want you to miss out on any of those videos. So make sure you're subscribed, got the notifications on, so as soon as we drop a video, you can click on it and come see what we're talking about this week, or 3 times a week, I guess. You know, it's not just this week. But if you guys are new to the channel as well, go back and check out some of the other videos we got. We got a bunch of cool stuff on the channel. So I definitely appreciate you guys, and definitely appreciate all you loyal subscribers always tuning in every video and leaving those likes and comments. It definitely helps the channel grow, so I appreciate all you guys. But we're kind of keeping the theme of fall bass fishing. You know, it's that time of year where the days are getting shorter, the nights are getting cooler, the leaves are changing colors, they're flying off the trees into the water a little bit. And I wanted to give you a few of my favorite hooks. You know, these are hooks that I keep in the boat all year long, but I find myself using them more in the fall time of year. So it's just kind of, you know, as the fish get keyed in on different presentations, you're throwing different baits. These are 3 of my favorite hooks that I use in the fall time of year. So let's dive in and I'll show you a few of the hooks and you know, how I like to rig them, what baits I'm throwing on them, that kind of stuff. Number 1 choice for fall fishing for my hooks, it's gonna be this guy right here, the Trocar Swimbait hook. So this is a pretty unique hook. You know, like I said, I keep this in my boat all year long and I'll use it in various situations. But I find in the fall time of year, I always have one of these on deck. You know, there's a few different sizes available in the Swimbait hook from Trocar. You know, this one is the 3/0 and 1/8 size weight on there. So they have a 3/0 and 1/4. They have a 5/0 with 1/4, 5/0 with 3/8. I mean, there's a couple different sizes, and really that's just dependent on what size bait you want to put it on. So I really like the lighter one for, you know, kind of what I'm using it for, which we'll dive into here in a second. But that is the 1/8 3/0 hook right there, the Swimbait hook from Trocar. And this is something, like I said, I use this a bunch throughout the fall of the year, mainly because those fish are feeding in on small bait fish, and that's what that little blade right there, the little willow leaf blade hanging off the bottom of this hook, imitates those little tiny bait fish extremely well. It's just an added flash that may trigger a fish to come up and eat your swim bait. So I'm putting a swim bait on this style hook right here. This is the Yamamoto Paddle Zako. But you could put any of your favorite small swim baits on there, you know, a little Kitech or Rage Swimmer or the little shad shaped swimmer, any of your little favorite swim baits. But I really like this Paddle Zako for kind of waking over top of grass. And that's exactly what it's exactly what I like to do with this hook, this rig in the fall time of year, is find some, you know, kind of sparser vegetation that's got a bunch of bait fish in it and kind of roll him around. So we got a screw lock on the front. It's a pretty big screw lock, so he kind of screws right into the nose of your swim bait. And then he is kind of free hanging on there. So you're free to do what you want with him. You know, you can screw him in further, leave him out a little bit. I like to screw him in pretty far because I want that bend or the eye of the hook to be touching the swim bait. You know, I want it to be a very compact profile. And then you're just gonna, you know, take your hook, run it through the hook slot in the swim bait, run it out the top, just kind of skin hook him just like that. And now he is perfectly rigged on there. And you're able to just slowly roll him. You see that tail has a ton of action on there. And this blade's kicking down here. It adds a little flash, a little vibration, just a little something to trigger those fish. And this is a bait that, man, it catches a bunch of fish and it really catches big ones. So this is number 1 choice that I'm using in the fall. It's my number 1 hook for the fall. I probably use him just about, maybe more than any other hook in the fall time of year. It's the Swimbait from Trocar. So number 2, moving on. This is actually a very similar hook. This is the Trocar Swimbait hook, the TK140. Well, let me see, what was the number on this one? This is the TK178. The Swimbait is the TK178. The Swimbait is the TK140. And this is the 4/0 size. And this is a, you know, it's really the same design hook. just no weight on it. It's got the screw lock, it's got, you know, the same style, shape, hook. But for him, I'm using a little bit different bait. So for him, I'm throwing more of my toads, like the ribbit, horny toad, anything that you're buzzing across the surface. You know, this is gonna be frog fishing. You know, frog fishing's really good in the fall. So that's what I'm doing with this hook. And this is by far the best hook I've found for these style baits, is the screw lock style swim bait hook. So again, he's got a screw lock on the front, so we're screwing in the nose of the ribbit, the toad, whatever you're throwing. Screw him in like that. And this this does a couple things. I mean, again, it makes it free swinging. So once you hook that fish, the bait kind of gets out of the way. But it also makes it a compact profile, and this hook actually acts as a keel that helps run through, you know, as you get out of that thicker vegetation. This is a bait you're not throwing in the super heavy vegetation. You're throwing this in more sparse and scattered stuff, and that hook actually acts as a keel and helps that bait run perfectly straight through there as these legs are kicking. You know, the other cool thing I like about it is you got all that gap right there. You got all that distance for when a fish bites this bait. I don't want to tear my bait up, but when he bites that, it's got all that room to slide down, and now you got that big bite right there, big gap to hook the fish. You know, you got all that room that you know, is going to hook those fish. So that right there, that hook gets a bunch of use in the fall, throwing a toad, throwing a ribbit, stuff like that. It's by far the best hook I've found for that. So TK140 is the second choice. Okay, number 3. Top 3 hooks for fall bass fishing. Number 3 on the list is the TK100. This is like the most universal hook in bass fishing, just a good old round bend worm hook. And this is for many uses. I mean, you use this for everything. You know, for me, I use a lot of soft plastic jerk baits, Yamamoto D-shad in the fall time of year. So that's kind of where I'm going with this, but this is the most universal hook in the game. You can throw any type of bait on here: crawfish, swim bait, worm, brush hog, creature bait, doesn't matter. You can throw it all on this style hook. So it's got to be on the list. It's got to be on every hook list, because this is, like I said, the most universal hook out there. I use it every time I go out bass fishing, and I'm throwing any sort of hook. Generally speaking, it's going to be a TK100. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully you learned something from this video. I'm curious your thoughts, so make sure you drop them in the comments below. Hit that like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you guys next time.